ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome to the Sri Namastaka series. Yesterday we were discussing the explanation of the first verse of the Sri Namashtaka by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is also in the form of Sri Namashtaka song. It is actually a song which is there in the Gita-vali. So the verse, for every verse of the Sri Namashtaka, there is a song written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur explaining that verse. So that also we saw. And then we began yesterday with the discussion on the second verse of Sri Namashtaka. And as I was mentioning, the second verse is very important. And the flow is very similar to the Shikshashtaka. Because in the Shikshashtaka, there is the seven perfections what can be attained by chanting the holy name. That is the Siddhavasta is mentioned. And with faith, we should begin chanting. But in the second verse, Durdaivami idrisham janina nuraga. Because of anarthas, I'm not able to, you know, take shelter. So sadhu sanga, bhajan kriya, anarth nivriti are mentioned in text 2 of the Shikshashtaka. So similarly, the great liberated souls also take pleasure in glorifying the holy name, Nam Prabhu. The head of the Upanishads take pleasure in glorifying the holy name, and they take shelter of the holy name. So then, in the next verse, you can see in the flow, Yes, share the screen. Baldev Vidyabhushan mentions anticipating the objection. How can I shelter you who are overcome with sinful reaction? He states the text beginning Jaya. So the Naam is saying, how can I shelter you, that person who is offering the prayers? So there is a very deep interaction going on, who's overcome by sinful reactions. But this is again the glory of Naam. And this is there in this second verse. Jaya Nama Deha Muni Vrinda Geha Janaranjanayaka Paramaksharakrite Tvammanadharatapi Managudiritam Nikilogratapapatilim Vilumpasi. So this glory to the holy name, O holy name, which is sung by the sages, Muni Vrinda Geha, and you have assumed the form of transcendental syllables. Parama Akshara Akrite. So Parama means transcendental, Akshara is the syllables, Akriti means the form, for the pleasure of the people. Janaranjanaya. All glories to you. Upon being pronounced, Udiritam, slightly manag, even out of desperate, Anaradharatapi, you destroy Vilumpisi, all the terrible miseries of the chanter. Nikhil Ogra Tapa Patilim. So this is the glory of the holy name, that even a slight pronunciation of your holy name, even out of disrespect, destroys all the miseries of the chanter. Now, as I was mentioning in the first class of our discussion, that one should understand the potency of the holy name, the Nama Tattva. Otherwise, without this knowledge or Sambandhagyan, if we take up to the process, then we will not access the full mercy of Nam Prabhu. So we saw yesterday Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary on this, and Baldev Vidyabhushan basically is explaining in Sanskrit. O holy name, O one sung by the sages, all glories to you. Please reveal your excellence of your burning up of all sinful reactions. So please reveal your excellence of burning up of all sinful reactions. Yesterday, I did not bring up this point, but today I'm just recollecting that generally the holy name or Bhakti Devi does not reveal its glory. In the case of Ajamil, everyone knows this pastime, that Ajamil, at the time of death, when he saw the Yamdutas out of fear, he called out his son Narayan, and he was saved from all sinful reactions. But that is not the right understanding. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur in his commentary mentions that the day Ajamil in the Namakaran kept his son name as Narayan and called out with deep affection, Narayan, Narayan, all his sinful reactions were burnt. Yet he continued to commit sinful actions. Although he continued to do sinful actions, but there were no reactions to those actions. This is very, very, very confidential. Then you might wonder, how is it that, although he was purified, he was free from all sinful reactions, he continued to commit sinful activities. And not only about that, although he continued to commit sinful activities, he was not getting the reactions. And the example is given that when the snake's poison is taken up, venom is taken out, even if the snake hisses or bites, there's no effect. Then why did, Ajamil not get the sinful reactions for those sinful activities he was performing? Because Bhakti Devi did not reveal her glories. Bhakti Devi did not reveal her glories. And another example, just to understand this, is of Maharaj Janak. Maharaj Janak is a pure devotee of the Lord. And although, according to Varnashram, he was situated in the Kshatriya Dharma, Karmana eva hi samsiddhim. Bhagavad Gita 3. I think 20. Astito Janakadaya. So, Maharaj Janak, being on the transcendental platform, a pure devotee of the Lord, he could have continuously only performed bhajan. But in order to lead the praja, he was doing his Kshatriya Dharma. Now, when you are doing your Kshatriya Dharma means there is Swabhav. The Swabhav comes into picture. And because of doing actions based on the Swabhav, there will be reactions. But because he was a pure devotee, he was transcendentally situated, although he was doing a Kshatriya Dharma, there were no reactions. Similarly, although Ajamil, after doing the name ceremony and calling his son affectionately Narayan, he continued to do sinful activities. There were no sinful reactions. So that is the understanding given. So that is why here he's saying, please reveal your excellence of burning up the sinful reactions. Please reveal. So Bhakti Devi doesn't reveal her glories. Similarly, Nam Prabhu doesn't reveal the glories. So that is why sometimes we don't understand. Sometimes devotees are chanting and still you might feel that, there is no drastic change coming up. But we don't know. Bhakti Devi or Nam Prabhu might not reveal the glories because Nama Tattva or Bhakti Tattva is very, very deep and confidential. Why does Bhakti Devi doesn't reveal her glories or Nam Prabhu doesn't reveal the glories? Because people will take it very cheaply. That is why. Okay. Anadarat api. Even out of disrespect, in jest, you destroyed the terrible miseries, including the subtle body. And 3 verses were quoted. One is from the Bhagavatam, another one is from the Narayana Vyustava, and the third one was from the Kashikanda. And then, please purify me, and people will notice your glory of purifying even those sinful reactions, and they will take shelter of you, and I will preach your glories. And then we discuss the story of Jagai and Madai. Now we'll further continue Baldev Vidyabhushan's discussion. He Janaranjanaya Paramakshaраkrite iti Dayalutvam Vyajate. Oh, hey, one who has assumed a form of transcendental syllables, Parama Akshara Akrite, for the pleasure of your people, Janaranjanaya. By this statement, his compassionate nature is revealed. Dayalutam Vijate. So the Lord, out of his compassion, has taken, has expanded into an avatar called as the Nam Avatar. And this is the causeless mercy of Nam Prabhu. This is his compassionate nature. Now, it is very interesting to know that Krishna resides in the heart of every jiva as a Paramatma, but yet Krishna doesn't reveal himself. And why he doesn't reveal himself is because of the anarthas, because of the shadripus. And Krishna being seated in the heart will not purify these anarthas. But Nam Prabhu is very compassionate. Nam can enter the heart through the ears and do Chaitodarpan Marjanam. And when he does Chaitodarpana Marjanam, when the Chit is completely pure, then Krishna manifests in the heart. So, who is more merciful, Krishna or Nam? It is Nam. So that's why his compassionate nature is revealed. Parama Aksharakrate Atra Sakandva Aditva Teha Para Rupatvam. Now, this is something to do with technical with Sanskrit. It's very simple, but we need not go into the details. So regarding the word Paramakshara, a compound of Parama and Akshara, because it belongs to Sakanda Adi group of irregular compound words, the last vowel of the first component word is deleted and the first vowel of the second component word is left intact. Basically, Parama and Akshara, by joining, it should become Paramakshara. It should become A. But because it is a special group of irregular compounds, that rule is not applied. You can see here, note my normal rules of Sandhi, Parama plus Akshara would yield the word Paramakshara. But because it belongs to a irregular compound words, that operation of Sandhi is not done here. Instead, because this combination of words belong to a special category of words called as the Sakandava Adi, Parama, and plus Akshara becomes Parama Akshara only. There is no Sandhi done. Interested readers can refer to Sanskrit grammar, text Siddhanta Kaumudi. Okay. Then further, he quotes another glory of the holy name from the Shrutis. Om Asya Jananto Nam Chidvivaktana Mahaste Vishnu Sumatim Bhajame. Om, Om, O Vishnu, Vishnu, your holy name is spiritual and hence self-manifest. Nama Chidvivaktana. Knowing even slightly about this holy name, Asya Janato, and uttering it, Bhajame, we attain knowledge, Sumatim, about its nature, Mahaste, or its glory. Now, this is from the Rig Veda 1, 156.3. This is quoted in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, along with few other verses from the Shruti about the holy name. The English translation of this verse is based on Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu's gloss in Bhagavad Sandarbha, Anuched 35. The gloss is presented in a later footnote with the translation. So later in the footnote, this whole gloss and the explanation is presented will come. But here it is just suffice to know that it is from the Rig Veda, the glory again of the holy name. Further, iti shute sakala nigamavalli satphalam chid swarupam. It is the transcendental fruit of all the creepers of the Vedas and spiritual in nature. Sakala, Nigama, because the Vedas are called as Nigama. Nigama kalpataror ghalitam phalam. So Sakala Nigama Valli, creeper, transcendental fruit of the creeper of the Vedas, Chit Swarupam, and spiritual in nature. Iti Shute. Now, this is very famous verse again from the Shrutis, which Baldev Vidyabhushan in his commentary is quoting. And he's just quoting only one line, but in the footnote, the entire quotation is there. This is from the Skanda Puran, Prabhas Kand, the entire verses. Maduram Maduram Etan Mangalam Mangalanam Sakala Nigamavalli Satphalam Chit Swarupam Sakrit Api Parigitam Shraddaya Helayava Bhuvara Naramatram Tarayate Krishna now. Krishna's name is the sweetest of sweet things. Maduram Maduram, Madura Maduram, the most auspicious of auspicious things. Mangalam Mangalanam, The transcendental fruit of the wine of all Vedic literature. Nigama, Sakala Nigama Valli Satphalam. O best of the Bhruvus. Bhruvara. So here, I don't know the conversation between whom this is happening, but the speaker is addressing to Bhrugu Rishi. O best of the Bhruvus. Chanted even once. Sakrad api. Please remember it is only once. Either with faith or contempt. Shraddhaya Nilaya Va. It delivers the chanter. Tare Krishna Nam. So this is the full quotation. This is quoted by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali as text 26. So in the Padyavali of Rupa Goswami also this verse is quoted. Okay. Iti smarana cha chid atmakaksharaakaram nama. Yatha namina krishnasya chid rupasya hamsa shukradi bahushchid rupam eva tadvar. On the authority of the following Shruti and Smriti statements, we learn that the holy name possesses a form of spiritual syllables, just as the body of Krishna, who is spiritual, and the holy name in forms such as Hamsa and Vara is spiritual. So just like the forms of the Lord like Hamsa and Vara are completely spiritual, the holy name in the form of these aksharas are completely spiritual. So just like we have these Mahamantra stickers, the letters, they're ordinary aksharas written, like you write welcome. That sticker is material. But the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra sticker, when you write the Hare Krishna mantra, although it seems material, but it is spiritual. Just like the forms of Hamsa and Vara are spiritual. So that is the point. After giving these four quotations, this is the conclusion Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan is establishing. This is the Siddhanta is establishing. Once in one of the temples, Srila Prabhupada just arrived, and we all know that whenever Prabhupada has to go to some new center, the temple is to be just ready and the fresh paint smell is to come. And after opening the temple, then Prabhupada was escorted to his room, which was a next building. And Prabhupada, as he was going, he saw on the steps where he had to climb, somebody had put the Mahamantra sticker. And Prabhupada refused to climb over the steps. He just refused and he said, I'll stay on the ground floor. I'll not go on the first floor. Because Prabhupada knew this tattva. So that is the compassionate nature of the holy name. And that is the tattva of the holy name, which is being established here by Baldev Vidyabhushan. So when we understand this tattva and with other chant the holy name, then we can become free from namaprad, and then the holy name will reveal its glory. That's the point. Okay. So any questions on Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary, which we discussed up till now? One. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. My question is not related to today's lecture, it's related to
Oh,
yesterday's lecture.
can you speak a little loudly, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is my voice audible?
Yeah, now it's better.
Um, my question is related to yesterday's answer that you gave me. So, can I ask now or should I ask in the end?
What is the question?
You told me to chant the verses of Namastaka before starting to chanting. So I'll talk about me. I don't really remember the whole meaning of the two verses that we discussed. So is are the verses still like they will still be good while chanting? I mean,
Yeah,
okay, I can't.
basically at first level, even though we don't understand the verse meaning, we first practice recitation of the verses. And
Okay,
slowly, as you practice recitation of the verses, then mantra artha chintanam. What is the meaning of the verse will slowly manifest. We have to read the translation, and then when we uh, look into the artha, meaning of the verse, then when we recite, then it has still more potency. So we begin with just recitation of the verses, and then over a period of time, we should contemplate on the meaning by going into the translation, and that will have more potency. That is what Srila Sanatan Goswami in his work mentions, Mantra Artha Chintanam. We should do Mantra Artha Chintanam, and we all know that children who go to the Gurukul, uh, in the beginning stages, they just practice the recitation of the Bhagavad Gita verses for many years, although they don't understand the meaning. But as they, as their intelligence develops over a period of time, then because they have been reciting, uh, the mantras themselves also start revealing the meaning, and with the understanding and the knowledge and the explanation given, then they better understand, and that chanting is more effective and more potent. So that's the idea.
okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, Andreji mentioned that Nam Prabhu does not reveal the glory. This not revealing the glory, is it this anartha is the only hurdle, or
Come again,
um,
what did you say?
I'm saying, is this only anartha which are the hurdle, because of that Nam Prabhu is not revealing the glories, or we don't know the potency of the glory in him, and because of that it is not really revealing the
Yeah,
glory.
yeah. I did not bring up that point. I wanted somebody to ask that question. Well, anarthas are not such a big obstacles. It is only aparadh. If we have offended Nam Prabhu, then Nam Prabhu will not reveal its glories. The main reason is aparadh. Srila Vishwanath Chandra Thakur in his Madhurya Kadamni brings out this point in the Tritiya Vrishti, the third shower. He speaks about the anarthas, and there is Sukrututta anartha, Dushkrututta anartha, Aparadutta anartha, and there is Bhakti Utta anartha. And then with respect to Aparadutta anartha, he goes into quite detail, and he goes into the 10 offenses and the explanation. And there he mentions that suppose a servant is serving the master, and the servant is not favorable towards the master, then the master will keep an eye on the servant, but he will not, give all the facilities to the servant because he is not favorable. So similarly, one who commits offenses to Nam, and it also includes Vaishnava Aparadh, then Nam will not reveal the glories. So in one sense, the anarthas and the papa and the punya eradication is not a big thing for Nam, because that is the potency of Nam. It's only because of aparadh, Nam aparadh and Vaishnava aparadh. Is it clear?
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
One second. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Danvatana. So this aparadhatutva contains all the major aparads like Nam, Dham, Seva and Vaishnav.
Yes,
Thank
they
you.
include all. Nam aparad, Dham aparad, Vaishnav aparad. There is another question, I think. Kalini Mataji, you had a question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, before being serious in Hare Krishna, when we were introduced to Hare Krishna, we have done so many aparadhs. So how it can?
Before being introduced.
Yes, when we were introduced, we were not having the faith in name or in
No,
some
it's
Siddha
not.
Purush.
It's not like that. Before being introduced to the Hare Krishnas, we did not commit any aparad. We were committing a lot of pap.
Acha.
We were committing a lot of pap, but after being introduced to Hare Krishna, that first initial few days, we were all pure devotees. Because we are just chanting without faith also, with very little faith, and we are experiencing some divine things, you know. But with the association, with the time passing, then we keep on committing offenses, and then it's a battle, struggle.
So what is the solution now?
The solution is we have to understand the Sambandha Gyan. And with the Sambandha Gyan, chant. Just like Ajamil, he called his son Narayan, and the Vishnudutas came and rescued him from the Yamdutas. But there was the conversation between the Vishnudutas and the Yamdutas. And understanding the glory of Narayan, understanding the glory of the holy name, with that Sambandha Gyan, then he was given a grace period. And there he perfected his lives. So the more we understand this Sambandha Gyan, and with that Sambandha Gyan practice the Abhidheya, that is the Navvidha Bhakti, then we will get the Prayojan. That's the point. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so now we will go into the explanation of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur on this text. As I was mentioning, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written songs for each of the Sri Namashtaka prayers of Srila Rupa Goswami, and it is there in the Gitavali. But here, in his commentary also, he has given a little explanation, and then there is the bhajan. So this is the explanation part. Again, this is Bengali transliteration. Here nama deha muni sakala tomake gan kariya thaken. O holy name, ye nama deha, all the sages glorify you. Muni sakala tomake gan kariya thaken. Tumi jagatera ranjaka. You please the entire universe. Tumi chinmaya aksharakrite. You are a form of spiritual syllables. Anadarera sahita kiyat parimane tomake uchcharan karilo. जीवेर समस्त उग्र ताप तुम्ही संपूर्ण रूपे नष्ट करिया थाके. Even if one utters you to a slight extent with disrespect, you completely destroy all of the terrible sufferings of that conditioned soul. Tumi Jaya Yukta Hoy. All glories to you. So this is just the explanation he has given. And then this is the bhajan. Jaya Jaya Hari Nama Chin. Jaya Jaya Hari Nama Chin. Anandamrita Dhama. Paratatva Akshara Akara. निज जने कृपा करी नाम रूपे अवतारी जीवे दया करिले apara. All glories to the holy name of Lord Hari. Jaya Jaya Hari Nama. the abode of the nectar of spiritual bliss, the supreme truth in the form of syllables. Chid Ananda Amrit Dhama Parat Tattva Akshara Akar. Bestowing mercy upon your own devotees, Nija Jane Kripakari, you have descended in the form of the holy names, Nama Rupe Avatari, and bestowed unbounded mercy upon the living entities. Jive Daya Karela Apar. So, Naam bhajans are also very important because within the Naam bhajan there is a tattva, and by singing these bhajans and contemplating on the meaning of the bhajans, then we can understand the glory of the Naam bhajan. And with that, when we chant, then we can access the mercy of Naam Prabhu. Jaya Hare Krishna Rama Jagajan Suvishrama Sarva Janamanasa Saranjana Muni Vrinda Nirantaraye Namera Samadhara Karigaye Bhariya Vadana. All glories to Hare, Hari, Krishna and Ram. Jaya Hari Krishna Ram. You are the excellent refuge of the residents of the entire universe. Jaga Jana Suvishram. No, you can take Suvishram in name. You please the minds of everyone. Sarva Jana Manasa Ranjana. The sages constantly honor you. Muni Vrinda Nirantara Ye Namera Samadhar. The holy name, while singing you with their mouths wide open. Kari Gaya Bharya Vadana. O He Krishna Namakshara Tumi Sarva Shakti Dhara Jivera Kalyana Vitarane Tomavina Bhava Sindhu Uddharite Nahi Bandhu Asyacha Jiva Uddharane. O syllables of the holy name of Krishna. Ohe, Ohe is Sambodhan. It is a address. Ohe Krishna Namakshara, holy name of Krishna. You possess all potencies to distribute auspiciousness to the living entities. To me, Sarva Shakti Dhar, Nam Namakari Nija Sarva Shakti, and the Shikshashtakam verse, it is there. Apart from you, Tomavina, there is no friend to rescue one from the ocean of material existence. Bhava Sindhu Uddharite Nahi Bandhu. You have come to rescue the living entities. Asi Ache Jiva Uddharane. Achetap Jive Yata Tumi Sab Karahat. Elana Tumare Ekavara. Dhake Yadi Kono Jana. Hoyadina Kinchana. Nahi Deke Anya Pratikara. Now from here, it is very important and kindly hear attentively. You destroy all miseries of the living entity. Achet Tapa Jiva Yata. If anyone even neglectfully calls you out once, becoming humble and utterly destitute. Helana Tumara Ekvar Dake Yadi Kono Jana Hoye Dina Kinchan. Now, this is very, very important here. And the whole footnote will be based on this discussion. I do not see any other means to counteract those miseries. Nahi deke anya pratikar. Now, we might be, reasoning or contemplating, yeah, this is the glory that even without faith or in jest, if we call, then all the miseries are destroyed. And I'm not feeling so that, I'm still having miseries in this, even in my practice of Krishna consciousness. Now, here is the criteria that dake yadi kono jana hoy dina kinchana. If one, becoming humble and utterly destitute calls out, Then he can counteract the miseries. Now there is a note here. Note 1. Becoming humble and utterly destitute is the same as non-duplicitously following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set out in Shikshashtaka 3. Pranadapi sunichena tarorapi saishnam amanina mana dena. Note 2. The meaning is, apart from surrendering to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions set out in Shikshashtaka 3, there is no other means to get out of the anarthas that cause us to undergo the miseries of material existence. Tava svalpa spurita paye ugratapadure aya linga bhanga haya anayase bhakti vinod kahe jaya hari nama jaya pade thaki tua pada ashe. When one attains a slight glimpse of your lordship. Tava swalpa spurita pai. Now this again, that slight glimpse is a namabas. Those terrible miseries go far away and the subtle body is easily dissolved. Ugra tapa dureyai linga bhanga hoy anayas. And because the subtle body is also the source of misery, that is why the subtle body is included. Baldev Dakshan made it clear. Understanding this glory, now Bhakti Vinod says, Bhakti Vinod kahe, all glories to the holy name of Hari. Jaya Hari Nama Jaya. I remain offering you obeisances with the hope of attaining your lotus feet. Pade thake tua pada ashe. I offer my respects at your lotus feet with the hope that I'll attain or your lotus feet. Now, as I was mentioning that Tava Svalpa Spurita Pai, that is the Namabha stage. Now, here in the footnote, this is made clear. This is the Namabha stage of chanting. In this regard, an important statement by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his Navdi Panjika, distinguishing Namabhas from Namaprad and Shuddhanam, has been quoted in Sri Sri Hari Nam Mahimamrit, a book by Sri Anadi Krishna Bhakti Shastri, a follower of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as follows. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written the Navdeep Panjika, where he has distinguished Namabhas, Namaprad, and Shuddhana. And this has been quoted in this work. This Navdeep Panjika has been quoted in Sri Sri Harinam Mahimamrit, written by Anadi Krishna Bhakti Shastri, who is a disciple of or a follower of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And there the explanation is taken from this book, Sri Sri Harinam Mahimamrit. Now this is the explanation. Aprad yukta avasthaya kirtita harinama namaprada samgyaya abhihita. When the holy name of Lord Hari is chanted in an offensive state, it is called namaprad. Aprad yukta. Anichakrite namapradera phala punya karma labha. Now please note this. As a result of unintentional namaprad chanting, one can experience heavenly happiness. So this is the potency of even namaprad chanting. But here, this is, made still more specific. That is unintentional chanting, unintentional namaprad. That can be attained through pious activities. So what the karma kandis, through following the karma shastras, performing elaborate sacrifices to attain swarga, that can be attained by unintentional namaprad chanting. As a result of intentional namaprad chanting, one has to experience the torments in hell, etc. That are the results of sinful activities. Just like a person commits sinful activities, he has to experience hell. Similarly, the intentional namaprad chanting, one experiences this result. So now my question to you all is, which category we fit in, whether it is unintentional namaprad or intentional namaprad? Raise your hands. Who would like to answer? Yes, Swati Kulkarni Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes.
Um, I am in the intentional Namaprad chanting state, but
Yes.
I want to get rid of that. I don't want to commit any Namaprad, and
Yeah. So
thank you.
that's a good intent.
Hare
Yes. Okay. Priya Mataji, you have to say something?
Yeah, I just want to ask, sometimes we are chanting and we are not able to
We'll just
finish
finish this discussion and then I'll take the
Yes,
questions.
yes.
I hope. Okay. अपराध शून्य संबंध ज्ञान रहित अवस्थाए कीर्तित श्री हरि नाम नामाभास नामे ख्यात. When the holy name of Lord Sri Hari is chanted in the offenseless state and without sambandh gyan, it is known as namabhas. Now, namabhas tattva is very, very important for devotees to understand. In the Sri Harinam Chintamani, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in chapter 3 devotes an entire chapter for Namabhas Tattva. There is 92 verses there explaining the Namabhas Tattva. And here, we cannot go into the detail, but I'll just summarize. When we take the name of the Lord out of jest or out of Helena, like somebody, laughingly tells, oh, these are the Hare Krishna people. He actually takes Namabhas. He actually takes Namabhas. But this Namabhas is called as Ashraddha Namabhas. It is called as Ashraddha Namabhas. Just like Ajamil, he called out his son name, Sanket. So, Parihasya, Stoma, Helanam, all these four categories fall in the Ashraddha Namabhas category. Please remember that. And then he got the Sambandha Gyan. So once you get the Sambandha Gyan, you should directly then chant Shraddha Namabhas. But usually we go to the Namaprad stage and then the Shraddha Namabhas and then the Shuddhanam. Then the Shuddhanam. Why? Because maybe in this life we have committed a lot of offenses, or in the previous lives there are apradhs. So then we have to go through this Namaprad stage, come to the Shraddha Namabhas, and then go to the Shuddhana. Now, we have two categories, two divisions in Namabhas. One I've already explained, that is Ashraddha Namabhas. Within this Ashraddha Namabhas, there are these four subdivisions. It can be Sanket, Parihasya, Stoba, or Helanam. And I mentioned that there is Shraddha Namabhas. Shraddha Namabhas is chanting with Sambandh Gyan. Now, again, there is two divisions in the Shraddha Namabhas. There is the Chaya Namabhas and the Pratibimba Namabhas. Chaya Namabhas is Chaya. Chaya means shadow. So we'll not go into the detailed discussion of the technical aspects of this because that's a elaborate subject in itself. But suffice to tell here, say here, is that we have to chant Chaya Namabhas with Sambandh Gyan. Pratibimba Namabhas is those who are very offensive, like the Mayavadis. They also sometimes take the name of Hari, but they have a distorted understanding of the Nama Tattva. Just like on the lake or on the swimming pool, the reflection of the sun is there. And the sun's reflection, you cannot see the sun directly reflected because the waves are there. The image is all distorted. So they have a very distorted understanding of the tattva. So that is called as pratibimb, reflection of the sun image on the water body. Even within the Shraddhanama Bhas, the Pratibimba Nama Bhas chanting of the Mayavadis can give result of liberation to them. The Nam has that potency. This is Shraddhanama Bhas. Then what to speak of Ashraddhanama Bhas? Even Ashraddhanama Bhas gives liberation. But the Chayanama Bhas chanting is with Sambandhyan, and that will lead to further Shuddhanam and ultimately Krishna Prem and Golo Vrindavan. So we go from first Namabhas stage to Namaprad stage to Chaya Namabhas to Shuddhanam. That is our journey. Sanketa Parihasya Stovava Helera Sahita Shri Nama Karite Hela Namabhasa Hoye. When one chants the holy name while referring to something other than the Lord in jest for musical entertainment or neglectfully, such chanting is Namabhas. And as I mentioned, what type of Namabhas this is? Ashraddha Namabhas. Ashraddha Namabhas, not Shraddha Namabhas. Ihara Fale Jnani Ganera Akanshaniya Mukti Labha Hoy. As a result of this, one attains the liberation hankered for by the Jnanis. The Mumukshus. Mumukshu are the Mokshakami. So Akanshaniya means those who are desirous of liberation. So they attain this. So the Ashraddhanamabhas also gives liberation. Even the Shraddhanamabhas within the Pratibimba Shraddhanamabhas also gives liberation. Whereas the Chayanamabhas doesn't give the result as liberation. It leads to Shuddhanam chanting, which will give Krishna Prem. This is the important point to be noted. Aparadha Shunya Avastha Sambandh Jnanera Sahita Kirtita Name Shuddhanam. So now he gives the definition of Shuddhanam. When one chants the holy name in the offenseless state and with Sambandh Jnan, it is called Shuddhanam, the pure holy name. Tahara Phala Sunirmala Krishna Prem Labh Hoya Thake. As a result of such chanting, one attains spotless Krishna Prem. So from the Chaya Namabha stage, with knowledge, someone you chant, you cross the offenseless stage and chant the pure name. So that is the journey. Okay, any questions on this? Anyone has? Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, this Linga Bhangam, this stage is of Namabhas.
Yes.
And out of this, which category? It is Chaya Namabhas or Vim or any of the Namabhas? How it is?
Well, नामाभा से होते संसार क्षय, नामाभा से पाए मुक्ति अनायास, नामाभा से होते samsara क्षय. So these are the three results of namabhas. Namabhas can destroy all sinful reactions. Namabhas can give liberation. Namabhas can cut the bondage of material existence. So when we say this namabhas, which is discussed by Haridas Thakur with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it refers to all categories of namabhas. Whether it is Ashraddhanamabhas or Shraddhanamabhas, whether it is Sanket, Helanam, or Parihasya Stobanam within the Ashraddha category, or whether it is Pratibimba Namabhas. But Chaya Namabhas is always with Sambandha Gyan. That will not give liberation, but that will further lead to Shuddhana, which will give Krishna Prem. That's the point. I hope it is clear.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm just trying to open up those PPTs where this chart is there so that you can still get a better understanding. Oh, many more questions. Okay. Priya Mataji. Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So
Yeah.
there is Namabhas, and under Namabhas we have Chaya Namabhas and Pratibimba Namabhas.
No. Within the Namabhas, there is Shraddha Namabhas and Ashraddha Namabhas. And within the Shraddha Namabhas, there is the Pratibimba and Chaya. And within the Ashraddha, there are these four categories: Sanketa, Parihasya, Stova, Helanam.
Okay.
Okay,
So there
okay,
is
okay. I'll just share the screen. I'll just share the screen to make it more clear. So, yeah. Yeah, so there is this three stages which are very clear. Namaprad, Namabhas, Shuddhanam. And within this three stages, within the Namabhas, there is the Ashraddha Namabhas, in which these four categories come. Sanket, Parihasya, Stova, Helan. These are all Ashraddha. And within the Shraddha, there is the Chaya Namabhas and Pratibimba Namabhas. And we have to go from Namaprad stage to Chaya Shraddha Namabhas to Shuddhanam. Usually we begin with Ashraddha Namabhas and then go to Namaprad, and with Sambandha Gyan, we have to come to Chaya Namabhas and then go to Shuddhanam. I hope it is clear. Is it clear?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Kalindani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said you should know we should know only the Sabbandh Gyan. While chanting, we have not to invoke anything, no?
No, Sambandha Gyan means Sambandha Gyan refers to many things. Sambandha Gyan about Nama Tattva, Sambandha Gyan about our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha Gyan with our relationship with this material world. So all this is Sambandha Gyan. The Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all deal with these three topics, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. So Nama Tattva also, when we chant with this Sambandha Gyan, then slowly the Namaprad stage can be crossed and we can come to the Namabha stage. That's the point.
Okay, means while before starting the chanting, we should know that there is a Nam Prabhu also.
Yes, Nam Prabhu, the holy name is a person, and while chanting, we should have full attention and we should not disrespect him by taking our attention to something else.
So that includes Sabandh Gyan and pure chanting.
That includes someone. Yes, it is. Yeah. When we have someone again, then we will, we will,
Attentive chanting.
and attentively. And when we have the prayojan that, this is the result. If I chant attentively, all the sins will be destroyed. With that, it is prayojan bodh, it is called. When we have that bodh of prayojan, then we'll not do another.
Prabhuji, our real prayojan is Sharanagati or Krishna Prem. What is the real prayojan?
Both are the same things. When you have love, then you're surrendered. When a chaste wife loves the husband, then she's surrendered to the husband's instructions.
So ultimately is a prem.
Yes, it is praying.
Okay.
Yeah, one more. Vinitya Mataji, last question. Yes. Yes, Mataji. Oh, your audio is there's no problem. No, we are not able to hear you. No, no. There is some problem with your mic. Yeah, you can type. Any other questions anyone else has? Yes, Durga Prasad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I had a question regarding with when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as soon as we are introduced to Krishna consciousness. I mean, as soon as we are introduced to devotees community and all that. I had heard this several times before also that in the initial stage we actually do pure chanting to some extent.
It's not
Before
pure chanting, it is Namabas.
Namabhas, yes, Prabhuji.
Mm.
So, is this just average experience of all the devotees, or is it mentioned somewhere as a reference?
Well, we just showed the reference of, the Namabas Tattva.
Hmm.
That, the holy name just uttered. Also, Nikhil Ugra Tapa.
Hmm.
So, Isham to Antagatam Papam words can be seen from two different angles. To take up to spiritual practice also, you should be pure enough.
Hmm.
So that one name or few names in the initial, you have heard in the Kirtan or you heard or you yourself chanted first time when you came to the temple,
Hmm.
that has destroyed, a huge amount of sins and you are able to take up to the spiritual practice
Hmm.
at one level. So nobody, Prabhupada makes that point, one who's not free cannot take up to Krishna consciousness, he says, free from sins. But at a deeper level, the same verse applies that as long as one is not free from papa prad, paputtanartha, dushkututtanartha and sukrututtanartha, that means with the practice of bhajan, all these anarthas are not yet destroyed, then his bhajan will also not become steady. So we can take up to the practice of Krishna consciousness, but it doesn't mean that we can practice Krishna consciousness, Dhrida Vrata. So to practice Dhrida Vrata,
Hmm.
then you have to become free from all this, and that Sambandh Gyan is required. That's why. So as we start to the chanting, then we start getting that Sambandh Gyan.
Hmm.
But while we are practicing, we also commit offenses
Hmm.
to Nam as well as Vaishnavas and our previous baggage. Maybe in this life or previous lives, we might have committed offenses. So those also act as obstacles. Now, about the previous actions or previous life, we don't know. That is not in our hands. But at least after having this Sambandh Gyan, we should be very careful not to commit offense to Nam Prabhu and Vaishnavas. Then we can make swift progress understanding the glory of the holy name. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Just a supplementary question to this only. So now that we are into the devotee community, Prabhuji, and we get a little chance to unofficially or informally preach to new people. So should our priorities be set to give them Sambandha Gyan also a little bit, and along with that, should we also stress on not committing the offense part to them so that it is more helpful to them?
Well, for the new devotees, we should just preach them or inspire them to take up to Krishna consciousness. And then, because there is little faith and the development of faith takes time. And not time, it takes many, many, many years. That faith is very komal of the Kanishta. And to come to the Madhyama is a long, long journey. So, with that faith, they come up and to take up to practice, and slowly, we have to give the knowledge according to their level of faith. Because something, if you give knowledge which, they cannot handle, then instead of they getting more faith, their faith can come down.
Mm.
So you'll have to understand that and accordingly preach, and accordingly you have to introduce that level of subject matter for him so that he can handle that subject. Is it clear?
Yes, 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 Prabhuji.
Okay, last question, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, you said three things. It cuts the bondage, and it gives liberation, and one more you said. All three things.
Papashaya. All the sinful reactions are destroyed.
Okay. And if you have time, just in one line, what is Sanket, Parihas, Thoba, and Hela?
Sanket is basically indicating someone else, like Ajamil calling his son Narayan. He did not know that Narayan means Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. He indicated something else. Parihas means jokingly. You know, you're chanting and going somewhere and people make fun out of it. Hey, Hare Krishna, they laugh. They are glorious because they are taking parihas and deriding in jest, Stovam means out of, I don't remember now, recollect Stovam. Each of the definitions are there in Harinam Chittamani. It is there here in the verse also, but not in detail. Yes, Ankit, addressing something else, Sanket, jokingly is parihasam. Then Stobam is musical entertainment, and Helanam is neglectfully. Of course, there are still more clear definitions of this in the Sri Harinam Chintamani, but these are the four categories. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here. Shri Namastaka ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai, Hare Krishna.